Hello there and welcome to the Super Eagles Watch podcast. My name is Victor Godfrey in the company of Chuma Noli. As you know, this is powered by Hot Sports. Now, it's all about the green and white and our support and love for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Before we get into the business of the day, please be a part of our conversation on social media, X, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Most especially on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. That shows us that you are truly a fan of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now, you guys know him as a man that can weave amazingly in the loom of words. At least I tried with that one. Chuma Noli, you're going to give us something again, you know? She's not an Enna, but Elena and Elena.
It's nice to be in your company because you're a guy full of industry as a so it's nice to be here. But please do us this favor, endeavor to stick around and savor the best of our presentation flavor.
Oh
nice
my God. Talking about flavors
Yes,
now, it is a mixture of the Nigerian and Turkish flavor because our very own African Football Player of the Year, Victor Osimhen, has finally signed a loan contract with Galatasaray. It was celebrations for us in Nigeria and also for the fans at 4 a.m. They came out in their numbers to welcome, their new striker. Your thoughts on that deadline day move?
It was good because the last time we came around to speak about this, we're thinking would he be quiet until January? So to know he has somewhere to play football is great. It's not one of the top 5 leagues in Europe, which is sad. But I know when you're done with those top 5 leagues, you now call the Dutch Eredivisie, the Belgian league, and then Turkey. So it's top 10. And then Galatasaray, champions of the Turkish league, and that's how good they are. They play in the Europa League, which is a place Napoli themselves will not be. So he has a chance to play on the continent beyond just playing in Turkey too. And I think that, for a guy who's always given double figures to every team he's played for, Leo, at least after he left Charleroi, he's played for Leo double figures. All of his seasons in Napoli, the least he scored for them in a single campaign was 10 goals. He's going to score 26 at the point and then 15 last term too. So he's going to a place where he hopes he can score. And then he also has company of some great guys, There's Dries Mertens, who was his teammate in Napoli, who's now with the Galatasaray team. There's Mauro Icardi as well too. And, that synergy hopefully brings energy for Galatasaray.
He has to be careful about Mauro Icardi, given his reputation. And people's wives.
I know.
Hey, listen, Icardi, if we ever meet in the future and you see this video, it's all love, all right?
It was just a joke, Mauro. It was just a joke, man.
Except for Maxi Lopez. Anyway, so... I know, I'm looking for trouble. But you mentioned something about playing in Europe. Of course, the Turkish league might not be very physical or known for its tactics. Sorry, it's actually physical. But one thing about Turkish football is the passion of the fans. Like, watching a game in Turkey is scary. Even as a neutral, you'll be like, oh boy, you don't want either win or lose in the wrong... I mean, we saw what happened with Fenerbahce. Brighton Said Samuel became a Kung Fu master all of a sudden. So, but Osimhen is a very fiery character. He's following in the footsteps of his mentor in terms of, or inspiration, I should say, Drogba, who played there as well. Do you think his style of play, because Osimhen leaves it out on the field, would that fit in with that, that fan base? Would they be endeared to him as a cult hero?
Yeah, I think so. There are already assertions that he's the biggest name in the Turkish league right now, and you could arguably say it's the fact because
apart from Mourinho,
I would say so. As a player now, apart from Jose, who's a coach of Fenerbahce, 8th in the Ballon d'Or. Until we have the next Ballon d'Or ceremony, he can still argue he's the 8th best player in the world from that perspective, and then the best player in Africa at the moment too, until CAF have another award ceremony. So he's that big coming to the Dutch league. The Turkish league as a cases. I love the fact that first of all the country is called Turkey these days.
Turkey,
I'm trying to get used to that
Turkey
thing.
You're right, it's Turkey.
But it's a lovely feeling that you have passionate fans and now a passionate player has been signed. So I think they'll get the very best of him, and he's keen to silence his critics and remind people that he's who he thinks he is. So he'll give his all on that pitch every time he plays for them.
But what's the worst case scenario for Osimhen? I mean, I'm not saying that anything bad would happen, but I mean, like we say in Nigeria, God forbid. But what if he goes there now and Osimhen maybe falls out with the manager and and he's now frozen out again on the loan deal? Is that coming back out of the fridge into the freezer? Something like that. What would be the worst case scenario?
Worst case scenario, honestly, I spoke about these double figures, which is what we hope he gets for Galatasaray. But if it happens somehow that he goes there and does not deliver those numbers,
which is hopefully is impossible,
then it's going to be first of all from Napoli saying we made the right decision. We're going to taunt you with this all of your life, and then secondly, it's going to be that fact that you're always pushing to earn so much money. Even Chelsea fans say, see why we said he should have come to our territory. And he didn't want to drop his wages. Galatasaray will pay him the same 200 and something thousand euros. So the worst case scenario is go there and not score as many goals as expected. First of all, it's not top 5 leagues in Europe or in the world. So people will be like, yeah, you know, if you even deliver for Galatasaray, then who tells you that the big names will come for you? And then the high of 700,000 plus of Saudi Arabia could drop to a low of less than 100,000, dollars every single week, because the big teams would not come anymore. We know that the release clause has been dropped to like 75,000 or 75 million or so. But I think, all of these things will be thrown out of the window if he doesn't click in a Galatasaray.
Well, we honestly hope he does, because I can assure you this: during the amazing title run that they had with Napoli, where he even won the top scorer.
Yeah,
he broke the record of the most African with the most goals in the Serie A.
26,
we were all fans of Napoli. I was a fan of. I was looking forward to watching their game because of Osimhen.
Yeah, same here too.
Now I don't know if I'll be hate watching their matches.
We become fans of Galatasaray, Sha.
Would you be hate watching Napoli games?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't tell lies. When they took on Parma, I was hoping they would suffer a bit of karma.
Oh, he's done it again.
Because Parma scored first, and then they came back.
Late
coming off the bench, scoring, and then they won at the end. So to be honest, I love Napoli. Well done, they're doing great for themselves. But one part of me feels they didn't treat our guy.
Yes.
The right way.
I
feel somehow it would be nice if they feel the pinch of that.
A bit.
Now this is just the Nigerian side of me coming out. Napoli fans, respect to you.
Nigeria is a nation in terms of football that a lot of countries respect, and there's no difference in this one. I'm very, very confident that we will scale through these two games and beyond. We have the materials, we have the players, we have the personnel, we have the support, we have everything, And the only thing we have to remind these players about is they were almost African champions months ago. It's not even a year yet. So what went wrong? So it's still them. We will do everything that we have to do as technical crew, and of course the federation and Nigerians to rally around them. They are the ones to turn the table around. It's not bad. I've spoken to them. We're still going to have a series of meetings, or few meetings before the game proper. I'm very, very confident they will come out there and do the nation proud. But we will treat Benin with more respect, and no doubt about that, because football is, if you disrespect people, you have a problem. We'll play them with big respect, but hey, this is our home.
Let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the managerial situation, and NFF's quest for that foreign technical advisor or foreign manager. Now, it has been with mixed results. We've had success with Nigerian coaches in the past, and we've also had success with foreign coaches. For instance, 1980 glory was with Otto Gloria, the Brazilian. Or was he Brazilian or Portuguese?
I know that he just gave us glory.
I know he gave us. Okay, I think then you of course had Clement Westerhoff as well. Then we come down to the late 2000s to mid 2000s. Amadou Shuaibu. You had the likes of Stephen Keshi, who I feel is the greatest Nigerian football coach of all time. I honestly feel that way. I respect that man so much. Even Christian Chukwu as well. These are all great men. So we've had successes. It's been a mixed bag.
Yeah, it has.
Question down to you, Chuma, is where do you stand on this one? Because for me, if I'm being very honest, there's something a veteran sports journalist said. It says that if Nigeria is going to win the World Cup ever, it has to be with a Nigerian flavor. It has to be a Nigerian manager. We have to play Nigerian football. And we also have to bring that, quote-unquote, Nigerianness to it, that Nigeria power, so to speak. So would you go with a Nigerian manager, or would you say, let's go with another Pesero and play stinky football and get to the final of the Nations Cup?
To be honest, it's a very, very, very touchy conversation, this one, every time it comes up. First of all, I think I've accepted the reality that Nigeria, as things stands for this country, as things stand now, cannot afford the highest grade of coaches globally.
No, we can't.
A grade A coach.
No.
So if you're going for a foreign manager, I don't think we can afford a grade A coach right now.
D or C.
You always have to be, at best, a B.
A guy no, there's even a B.
This guy, Labadia, well, he coached Stuttgart in the Bundesliga.
What season? That was like 10 years ago.
No, like 2023, he was let go by them and all of that. And, so that reality, first of all, is what we have to look at and say, okay, if you cannot go for the very best from the perspective of foreign coaches, why don't you go for the very best from the perspective of Nigerian coaches? And you said something about the World Cup. Till date, no foreign coach has won the World Cup. Every team has won the World Cup with a coach from that country. The most recent, Argentina, Scaloni, their man, from Argentina as well. When France won the World Cup, Didier Deschamps, a French man too, and you can go on and on with these names. Jami was a German coach, So maybe that World Cup thing, if we're ever going to win it, it has to be a Nigerian coach. But on a more serious note, my concern now is where are the options? I'm being very realistic as we speak, except we have to recycle. So you're going to see Austin Eguavoen is in interim coach for the 4th time in his career, you know, as coach of the Super Eagles. 4th time he's come on board, whether as interim or as permanent coach. You're also going to see Finidi George, who we gave a chance, is now coach of Rivers United. You see Emmanuel Amonike, who Nigerians have been clamoring for a long time now. They didn't go for him. Now he's coach of Heartland FC of Owerri. These are the names. You know, I know there's a Nigerian coach who was doing well with the HBA national team for the USA, and at the point they wanted him to be one of the assistants of Finidi George, and he told the NFF, you guys are not paying me what I want, so I'm not coming. Maybe the man who also qualified the team to European football 2-3 seasons back. But amongst the names that we always mention when we think of Nigerian coaches, many of those guys are occupied now. I know it doesn't mean they cannot take them. They sure can take Amonike from Heartland and then make a Super Eagles coach if they want to. Samson Siasia just came back from that suspension. But he's had his time also as coach of the Super Eagles. Unfortunately, under his tutelage, we didn't qualify for the Nations Cup in 2012. And then later in 2017, because Olise left halfway, and then I wouldn't blame him for that.
We didn't qualify from
2015, 2017.
Yeah,
exactly. But Siasia was the one for that 2017. So that's where the concern is. I would love us to give a Nigerian coach a chance again. I thought that Finidi should have been given more time to prove himself.
I had the same sentiments as well.
I know the pressure was on us because 4 World Cup qualifiers, no win at all. But don't forget, he's not the one that did all. It was a foreign coach that gave us 2 draws with the where we should have beaten Lesotho and Zimbabwe.
Bro.
So if we cannot go for the very best foreign coaches in the world, please go for the very best Nigerian coaches.
But here's the thing, you just mentioned something about some fantastic talented managers we've had in the past. And these are all from the golden generation of Nigerian football, to be honest. But I feel like there's a bit of a sabotage in terms of either support from the NFF or even the players, you know, being aligned with the manager's philosophy, so to speak. For instance, I remember the first time I saw the Super Eagles under Olise play. I saw for the first time in the history of Nigerian football, we had a structure. You could actually see
he was planning something.
Formation. But unfortunately, the personnel, it didn't quite work out. He had fallouts with some of the senior players that visited Yama.
The NFF too.
And exactly, that's one. Then of course with Siasia, with all the glory he had with the under 23 and under 20 as well, you know, we thought, okay, this guy will just transition your youth into the Super Eagles and it will just go to the next level. It was a massive failure against South Africa. You flip the script now to Finidi George, a player who also was fantastic in his own prime. So the question now is, even if we go for a Nigerian manager, will they have the backing of the NFF, and will the players respect a Nigerian coach that has perhaps also done well in his club career, and with the national team to say, guy, if you want to cross the ball like this, and maybe you just wait small, maybe this guy makes it. You know how it is in Nigeria. You feel that, because I feel that that's it. I mean, we saw what Osimhen did with Finidi George. That kind of shows levels of respect. I wouldn't see Osimhen do that with Conte.
No, you're right. You're right, because again, it's what everybody kept saying. You know, would you do this to your club manager?
Exactly.
Or would you have done this to a foreign manager? Imagine if Labadia were to be the coach of the Super Eagles. Would you have ranted that much? Is it a case of finish, as we love to say in these parts of the world? It's a concern, and again, like you mentioned, there's a reason. Olise didn't just even have issues with Enyama. He had issues with Mikel Obi too.
Yes, he did.
Which he's been speaking about in recent times. You know, so I think that, you know, it's not about who is richer. If it's about who is richer, Scaloni is not richer than most of the players in the Argentina team he led to win Copa America and the World Cup. If it's about being rich, the coach of Spain is not richer than the guys in the Spanish national team who he led to win the European Championships. So the earlier players respected these managers, the better. And the best part of it is all these names you mentioned have not just been guys who are coaches now, but have been legends of Nigerian football. Olise has played at the highest level. Finidi George at the point was seen as the best number 7 in the world. Emmanuel Amonike has been African Player of the Year. He scored goals in an AFCON final that led Nigeria to win the Nations Cup. So these guys are people who have achieved, and you know, these players should also remember that they also will be ex-players one day. You know, respect is the most important thing in our Super Eagles setup. Organization and respect, and it will give us what we expect.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching from. I am Tamara, and this is Hotspot Super Eagles Watch. Today we have something special for you as we hit the streets of Lagos. We'll be asking some questions about the AFCON qualifiers of the Super Eagles. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. So the NFF, they've been looking for a coach for a while now, and they've been looking for coaches abroad, outside the country, and they have not actually found. So do you think they should keep looking for coaches outside the country, or they should look for coaches here in Nigeria?
For me, actually, like the way we are just Nigeria, they are just hustling for the coach. Well, for me, they would like find a better coach in Nigeria here that at least the person that understand more about the country, so that at least he will be able to stand and coach us well.
Okay, so you feel like they should actually look for a coach here in Nigeria than searching?
Yes, actually. If maybe Jejo Okocha will come up and pick up Okanu Wanku, all those ones, they are our superstar, I think they can make it well.
New Osimhen's matter that is on ground and the new club he has come into. What do you think about it? Do you think it's going to favor him? It's going to favor the club? Do you think he's going to perform well?
Well, it is a good decision for him to move to Galatasaray as one of the best Turkish team. So it will be a blow to Osimhen sitting down at Napoli without praying for the full corporate 3 months. Now that he has took a good decision, go to Galatasaray, it will be a form of boost up his energy, because sitting down in the bench without play for a few, he will go at it tactically looking at it. He will say that a market value will go to below. But now taking a good decision for himself, go to Galatasaray, I think it's a good decision. Which I also hope that it will go to both his morale and energy, and he will go to do well. Because connecting with his former teammate like Matthias Dres from Napoli and a person like Malo Icardi is also there, I think it's also a good decision for him.
Okay, so you've been hearing about this coach thing, they've been looking for coaches in Nigeria. Do you think that they should look for coaches abroad, that they should keep still looking for coaches abroad, or they should look for coaches here in Nigeria?
Well, for me, I feel like they should look for coaches here in Nigeria, because I mean, if you want to look for a coach there abroad, they are going to be too expensive for us to manage, right? And I mean, we're already in so much debt in Nigeria, right? And now you are saying you want to go and look for a new coach. New coach for what? Who will pay the coach money? Honestly, I don't know. I did not thinking who will pay the coach the money. It's not better to look for someone that is as good as those ones abroad, and even try to like build them up to that extent that they can also be looking for them too abroad, instead of going abroad and looking for a new coach. My own opinion, Sha, beg, if you are looking for a coach, please look for a coach in Nigeria. Can even be your coach safe? Can come and pay me.
Hopefully we get what we expect, and the expectation, of course, is victory for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We do have Austin Eguavoen as our interim manager right now, and we honestly hope that the players would at least respect the legacy and the legendary status that is Eguavoen when it comes to being one of the few to be the first set of players to go to the World Cup for Nigeria, qualify for the World Cup. So hopefully we can get
one
there.
bronze too in the 2006 Africa Cup of Nations.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And to be honest, that was one of our best performances.
It's just that fantastic squad. That Ivory Coast beat us in semi-final.
That era of football had some of the best players also across Africa. I mean, DJ Drogba was in his prime.
It was golden generation.
Yeah, exactly, so to speak. Yeah. All right, now remember you can be a part of this conversation on social media. There's so much to talk about, to be honest, really, but we don't have that much time. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, especially YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Of course, we can even do a special video of Chuma just giving you fantastic rhymes, but you have to subscribe to see that, to be honest. Until next time, Chuma, thank you so much for being a part of our podcast today. It's always a pleasure.
Much, man. And you seem to be unveiling every time a brand new Super Eagles jersey that looks really cool. So I'll seize this one as well.
It's hotspots, what can I say? You know, they're giving me this nice
now
drink.
You're putting me on a hotspot in my quest to get the jersey as well.
All right, now, please, guys, remember that until next time, be good and be safe. And remember, keep it going as a Super Eagles fan. It's bye from us and bye for now.